A common statement I've been hearing from people with Parkinson's and people from other chronic illnesses as well is that they've gone to their doctor or their specialist and they've been basically told, "I'm sorry, I have no other treatments available that can help you. There is nothing more I can do for you." Hi, it's David from Life with Parkinson's. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing. Thank you for coming back to watch this episode of You Are Out of Options for Your Parkinson's Treatments. In my opinion, this situation is just starting to happen more and more often, and the amount of times I hear about it is increasing. But we're going to look at this statement from a couple different points of view and just basically talk about the feelings it produces as well as the situations. Please remember, a lot of this video is basically in my opinion. I am just another person with Parkinson's doing the best I can with the information I have. Thank you. A crushing blow. The second half of 2024 has really become a season of change for me. Things are going my way. My health is improving, my energy level is improving, my mood is improving. I've gotten off some antidepressants that were holding me back, basically interacting with my L-DOPA, and all of this started because of a fall in May of this year. I fell into the toilet. Thankfully, it was a minor fall, but that was just kind of the TSN turning point for me. I think everything's gotten better since then. But that doesn't insulate me from mid-2023 when my MDS basically told me, "You are out of options. There is nothing more I can do for you. Please just go see your family doctor. And if they have any questions, they can be relayed through your family doctor to me." So in essence, I was asked to not come back. And this is something my wife Haley and I have dealt with before. Haley was basically asked by her gynecologist specialist to not come back. They were just concentrating on basically getting all the people they'd worked on, which had a lot of failures in it, and basically just bringing in new people to test out new treatments. And I get it. I get it. Medicine is a practice. I understand that. But that doesn't take away the crushing blow that being told that you're out of options can have on a person. Like, come on. They've just, like in my situation, I got this statement 6 years into my diagnosis. And it had taken me 2 years just to get over the shock of my diagnosis, just to find stuff that actually kind of partially worked. And nothing was perfect at that point. Nothing was like it is now. Like now I'm really feeling I've hit a good plateau. I've been coming up and I've hit a really good peak. I just need to find the way to cross to the next peak, take another step up. But when I got that blow, it was just like, oh my goodness, it felt like someone had basically taken a baseball bat to the back of my head, a sucker punch, a betrayal. Like for Haley, it was like she'd been robbed of time. She'd been robbed of time as a mother with her children because she had done all these treatments and they just failed. Failed. So at the end of it, she was like, why did I do all those operations? Why did we spend all that money? Why did you take all that time off of work? Because nothing worked. And I'm just like, how do I wrap my mind around the failure in Haley's situation? And now how do I wrap my mind around the apparent failure in my situation? It just blew my mind, because how can a neurologist who's like had 9 or 10 years of schooling have no options? And this is not to single out the neurologist. I understand that our medical system in British Columbia is overstretched, overstrained. And next year I heard a statement from somebody who does a lot of research into the medical system that in 2025 in British Columbia the economy is not going to be able to keep up with the demand in the medical system. So the demand in the medical system is going up, but the economy is just not keeping up along with it. And that's going to cause even more problems. So I don't know whose fault it is. I can't blame the doctors. It's probably this way for a lot of reasons I just don't even know about. So I just want you to understand, I'm not attacking the doctors. I'm not attacking the nurses. We need them. Oh my goodness, do we ever need them? And we need to appreciate the fact that they did spend 9 to 10 years going to school. But to be told that statement, don't come back, I can't help you. And the question is, why? Why can't they help us? Why are so many being cast aside without a safety net? There has to be something out there that can help. So in my situation of being asked to not come back, it basically ended with me sitting on the toilet. I'd barely been able to get there. Haley was helping me. My right hand was up in a dystonic question mark. It was so painful. And I had trouble getting off the toilet. And I was just like, what am I going to do? I mean, should I order that wheelchair now? It's 6 years into my diagnosis. I'm in my late 40s. I should be out there running, hopping, skipping, and jumping. But I'm feeling that there's nothing that I can do to make my situation better. And if it hadn't been for this channel, if it hadn't been for you guys, I don't know what I would have done, because it was basically being on the channel that pushed me to find solutions. I'm like, there's got to be something out there. In this amazing age of scientific discovery, robotics, artificial intelligence, medical advances every day, there has to be something out there. And that was the way I approached it. Because I've had many questions from people. Dave, what has changed? We look at your videos back from a year or two ago, and you look way better. What has changed? And this is the first video in that series I'm going to make about what has changed in my life. And the first one was, I approached my situation with the belief that there had to be something out there. And I didn't know what it was. Basically going through a haystack looking for a needle, when I stumbled onto the Parkinson's gloves. And that's when I learned that vibration helps deal with Parkinson's symptoms. This is the situation I believe that many are put into. And it's difficult. When you're at this point, it's difficult. It is so hard, because you're like, I was raised to believe that the doctors had all the answers. But what I've learned is that they don't, and I don't know why that is. I don't know why they don't have the answers. But this turns into the situation of, and I can hear the pushback coming, Dave, if I'm looking for treatments, how do I know that it works? Well, that's the whole thing, right? The internet is full of good information, and the internet is full of bad information. And how do you separate the good from the bad? Basically, and I don't recommend everybody go out and do this right away. I've tried a lot of different things, and that's how I sorted it out. And basically, you have to look at the credentials of the information that you're digesting. And so I made a bunch of videos the last year, and basically I sorted out the good from the bad in my situation. And I encourage you, if you're looking at one of my videos, please verify the research. Please look into it a little bit on your own. Don't just take my word for it, because everyone's Parkinson's is different. So if I've gone out and spent a bunch of money on something and it's helping me, have a look at it and then decide if you want to spend that money. Because you need to know if it's going to actually help you or not. But here is the next situation that being told you're out of options creates. It creates a situation of desperation, because the Parkinson's symptoms are so bad. And that's the time where the misinformation can get you. And not everybody has the capacity or the ability to go out and search through all of this information. And what I firmly believe here is missing in the medical system is a safety net. When you're handed a parachute and told to jump out of the plane because there's no more options, like, it's not always going to be a happy landing for everybody. Not everyone's going to be going, yay, I get to jump out of this airplane, and I get to try a bunch of treatments that I have no idea if they're going to work or not. I'm so lucky. No, that's not the situation it creates. The situation it creates is that your judgment is clouded. It's infected by desperation that may point you down a lot of paths that may not help. Like just pushing everybody onto their family doctor is not a good thing. The family doctors don't all have a lot of training in Parkinson's. So I'm very fortunate that mine does. But a lot of people out there might not have that situation. Like, how can we be expected to manage our own Parkinson's disease when we barely understand it ourselves? What changed for me at this point? Well, basically, I just started trying things out, talking to everybody I knew about it, watching other people's videos, just finding some common thread or common connection of where studies have shown that doing a certain activity or taking a certain supplement or anything has shown to help Parkinson's symptoms. And I'll keep going through these. This is just episode 1. I just hope that these videos can help someone. Thank you for continuing to take this journey together. Thank you for liking, watching, subscribing, and sharing this video with your family and friends. Please leave a comment or question below. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Goodbye.